by Navi playing the same game.
My ult is ready.
This time, instead of just 2 players coming out, it's the whole squad, a full B attempt.
And they got ult off of it. Like, he probably got it last time, but through dying, which obviously creates a slightly different circumstance. Ult being utilized just to garner the space for free. Obviously, they do have to be wary of the heavens, but that is all going to be bypassed, and an afterplant looking fairly likely with a Hunter's Fury online. Nice start, at least. That will be 1 for Trex. And that might be one of the luckiest kills I've ever seen. It just spams and the guy runs into it.
Not even the same angle they just got a kill on. Just a wild spray that connects. Navi in a very good spot now with the man advantage to play with. Lockdown of their own.
Here.
The plant position isn't great for long, but the Hunter's Fury certainly should help out. Angel had that online ready to go. Trying to cancel out the ultimate. That will be done. And it's left into a 1v2. Starzo does well to pick up some kills in the chaos. The shock dart, though, right on his feet, lighting him up. An Angel and put that light out. 3-1, a different result than what we saw last time around, and one Navi will be much happier with.
Yeah, that's something that Koi are going to have to mentally reset from very quickly indeed, because it's such a rough circumstance where you find yourself back on the board, you get yourself the second round, and then it's replayed, and because of that, you're now a couple in a deficit. What was a great start to the half now becomes a pretty awkward position for them. And financially, it put them pretty much at rock bottom, other than what looks like a hero operator, which is not something you see too often, I'll be honest.
No, it's really not. Bladestorm coming online next round, though. Yeah. He'll have that to work with. It makes sense, but it won't get an opportunity. Let's look at where that operator is. It's on B long right now, and as we can see, the fight is inside of A main. We've already lost Shados, all of the Killjoy utility disappearing. And Trex is hidden. One flash that he wants to try and deploy from the back of A site, has support from Starzo to blind up a few players if they got the chance. But CNED can quickly disappear back to the site, back to safety, and no more flashes for Starzo makes him a lot less scary to take on down. We're left into just 2 players alive, one of which has the op.
Yeah,
for that reason, I don't think he's going to be retaking.
Yeah, I don't think Wolfen's going to be moving from this point. As you mentioned, it doesn't matter too much if he goes down Bladestorm, but you'd rather have that to go into the next round with, something to play with at least. And or for Navi, it's a great start. Like, you've got CNED running in, getting that Bladestorm for himself as well, but more so this is the kind of problems that we saw coming out when Koi faced off against Giants, is just that aggression out from the attack side. Jet just finding them a victory. And sure, this was up against weaker weaponry, but even still, the style in which CNED has done it in is definitely going to strike fear into the hearts of their opponents. As it seems today, it looks like Angel's almost just put him back, not only on maps that suit him, but also just letting him play that Jet. And because of that, well, maybe he's got a point to prove.
Wolfen has managed to carry that operator through to the next round. Even without his pack, he survives. Of course, not getting a kill, not dying, no Bladestorm, but yeah, that's just fine when you got this big gun in your hand. For Koi, well, they'll have to rely on this round being a little better. 4-1, they're definitely falling behind on this defensive side, but it's not too late to salvage it just yet. I think Sagetsu's solo map control as well is a big factor. The guy is 9-2, and he can feel completely comfortable with controlling mid and even the B long position by himself, just locking it down with utility.
I said it last time out, like when they played, he had a rough series, and that does not happen often. He's been one of the most consistent players within Emea, and right now, he's looking right back in form. We saw it yesterday, thriving within this match, and Xiao right alongside him. Again, they're going to go for this blitz play in towards the A site. A couple of players here, but that is diminishing very quickly. Coda Mentor already gone. Starzo within a smoke. You always feel like there's hope, but he can't use the flashes just yet.
Well, the suppression ending, and that is when the retake begins. Koi blitzing out everybody coming from the spawn. The Tiger on site, moving towards main. It'll see if it can catch someone, but it hasn't spotted Zipan. He managed to slip in the corner undetected. Operator ringing out, something to be careful of if you're Zipan. They still have another player, Art. It's not just main, as they may suspect, with Sagetsu still holding strong. Nobody's on the spike just yet. Time will become a factor soon. And it's a late play from Xiao that's truly scary. He's got his utility popping off, but they've heard him, they've seen him. That's more than enough, though, for him. Buying it down to a 1v1 and the wall bang to close. 3 kills as the Xiao Show gives Navi 5.
You never wanted to be him in a clutch, do you? It's just the last man you want to be up against. You look at the top of that scoreboard, you go, oh, God damn it, why does it have to be Xiao? So clinical in those last moments. And even just sort of that bait of having Zipan go down. Also just some of the moments in the retake, like it didn't go awfully, but it was even just like a few moments where you have Starzo popping a flash, it completely blinds Wolfen, it means they can't fight together and everything just takes that little bit longer. Maybe some of that has been spotted by the coach of Koi as they're going to take themselves a moment. No surprise to see some Xiao fans in the audience. I'm sure they're probably enjoyed that one a little, you know, the 1v2 clutch. And that's the thing, like if you go through and marvel at his sort of clutch statistics, go back to their tournament victory in Copenhagen, like let's put it this way, they wouldn't have made it out of groups if it weren't for Xiao. So if this guy's back in form, back moving to the top of the board and looking good in those clutches, it's only going to get worse for Koi from here. So a moment taken. Unfortunately for them, it's not like they're coming back in with a particularly good buy, but they might finally get to use that Blade Storm.
The one upside, I suppose, early aggression from Wolfen then has to be what we're expecting to see coming through from the side of Koi, if he's going to be using Blade Storm to begin with. A-main's been a point of contention in most rounds. They're seeing the lurk there. A lot of the time, 2 or 3 Navi players attempting to find an early fight. Again, we'll see the same recon from the pistol round thrown out. This time, it's catching a lot of information. 3 players were there. You even heard them, 2 of them minimum, shooting off. And with presence on A, and players deterred from pushing, they move back and search for art, search for a fight on mid, a fight which they will not win to begin with. It won't end any better. That's 3 quick kills for CNED. Blade Storm online, ready to go, and a bait set up inside of Art. Behind the box, lurking away is Xiao, and he is more than ready to capitalize on that kill, trading out his teammate. CNED couldn't help himself. Had to get the 4th.
Oh, can you blame him? His job is done. He'd already completed what he needed to do in the round, and also it gave him that top spot on the board. This is why we want to see this man on Jet. This is why, if you're newer to Valorant, you've been around maybe a year or so, you might see, why do people say that CNED, best Jet in the world, or one of the best? At time, really? Was he? Well, we talked about that battle of Starzo and CNED looking to make it back to Champions, a prior Champions victor. Both of them on the same team. CNED was a huge part of that, and that was where he truly was the best Jet in the world. Now maybe looking to try and prove that he's still got it. Sprinting out and damn! If it couldn't go any worse for Wolfen, he's just been picked off immediately. Didn't even get a chance.
I don't know if CNED gets the best Jet in the world off that, but maybe on the server. For now, at least, he's feeling like it. Called Dementa, not good for any more than 1. And this is the thing, Navi, we mentioned it. Round 4, initially, they sent 2 players towards B. The rerun of it, all 5. And the same strategy deployed here. It's almost impossible to win a fight. And you see it in that. You need a flash to even attempt to peek it for information. In the end, they're going to be pushed back by this lockdown. Unless they decide to go for a swing. Starzo. He's out.
It's just a domino effect. They lose that first duel, and every other player so far has just been fighting to get them back into the round. Lockdown combined as well with that cosmic divide. It doesn't give any space for the players to come back in. Trex, though, has done well, somehow pushing through and finding a kill, but there's many more to go. Combining alongside Shados, this was a round that was looking problematic, but they're up against Xiao again. This time, though, he's got no utility. He's got nothing left to play with, and Shados will execute him as he attempts the swing. Still, the clutch capability of Koi shines through, but they need many more to make this game competitive.
I mean, it's a flash in the pan round. You get the 1. You even think about that star on the floor. It could have been used for the grab well, bought that little bit of extra time, isolated a 1v1 for Xiao. An ultimate that saves the day, but we'd seen that even on the previous map for Koi, where they come in with an ulti ready to roll. Or even a few. And then, when it comes down to brass tacks, to the rounds where you don't have that to fall back on, it was Navi steaming ahead. And so far, that's been the story of this game. Koi need to prove that this is a resolution to the round 7 pause that they called. They came in with just pistols and a Blade Storm, that's whatever. But winning their first buy round after the pause is a great sign. What else have they got up their sleeve for us? And, well, a lot of aggression. Finally, that turret gets contact. We've seen it put down since round 1. And now they know there's players inside of middle. What they do with that is their choice.
Ah, knife again. It's going to get the information and delay. That's the main thing. Taking that drone offline, more importantly, means that any contact play they had off CNED will have to wait, and, well, wait they have. Destroyed initially. CNED's just going through. Straight through the utility, into the site. He's desperately low on HP. He's waiting on the edge of the smoke and almost manages a couple. It doesn't matter. The trades from his teammate, the contact that CNED creates. Starzo, all he can do is retreat. They're just being blitzed. We spoke about the adaptations, the changes to this B site to make it more manageable. Navi don't care. Oh, you've got your one smoke. There's your one smoke that cuts off the... Okay, we'll see. Ned's gone through it, got a kill, and then everybody else just follows up.
Yeah, that's a lot of the first couple rounds we're seeing towards this B side are just full contact. This time, even having the added layer of moving in through double doors as well, it seems unmanageable for a squad like Koi so far. Their responses, they just haven't been up to the task. And winning a round along the way here or there, peppering them in is not going to be enough. Starzo, look, even if he gets the first kill, there's another player. He knows that the trigger discipline is there at the start.
Nice.
And that is what saves this weapon for the squad. Well handled by Starzo, but it's still a round loss as Navi push up to 7.
Oh no, we'll only have 7,000 credits each this round. Like, it's genuinely such a bleak spot to be in, but this is the trouble. Like, CNED just disrespecting not only a smoke, but there was a fragment on the ground. He's feeling confident, and that's what's made things so much easier. Is CNED as an entry has been unstoppable, 12-6. Any times he hasn't, Saigetsu's been getting a lot of kills, so they've had a lockdown. So it just means that either you're clearing them out with a really powerful ultimate that can't be denied, or you've just got one of the best jets ever right in tow. Oh, this is not good either. Looking to try and deny that initial orb control. Wolfen's done well, and somehow he might actually be able to clear this out. One of the most awkward fights I've ever seen, but he does get rid of Angel, surviving on just 5 HP, but I assume there'll be some heals to be given by his teammate.
Right back up to 100, ready to fight again on the side of Wolfen. That's why he returned to his pack. Well, that's unfortunate for CNED, but it's fine. Little impact, no one there to swing off of it. Spike's gonna come down, being long solo, no one there to challenge. If they can take Shados, they've got plant, they've got post plant.
He's not gonna fight this though. He's got lockdown. It would be insanity in a 4 versus 3 to try and actually fight through this. An unnecessary risk, and maybe just looking to try and hold on to some of the control, maybe find a gap. You can see the plant basically just baited initially, but they will get that post plant, and then that's been the most devastating thing for them, is that someone like Xiao is more than happy to push all the way back and look to try and fight this from deep, because that is where he is a master of his craft.
It's even around this pillar on long is exactly where you want to be fighting with this plant position. You've got full sight line over the spike. Sagetsu's gotten real close, and he's been spotted as well. Now that's a problem. They'll look to deal with him, maybe smoking off the further angle, swinging on the flash. He gets 1, 2 even. How is this man still alive? He'll fall eventually, but he did more than enough to get the round in the bag for Navi. He should have been. They saw him, Tom. They knew he was there. They flashed his teammates. They smoked them off, and still he gets 2.
Yeah, he was stunned for the first couple of seconds and got back to normality as they went around that corner. And it's just got to be brutal, because the initial start, okay, it wasn't clean, but it was a 2-for-1 trade, managing to get the orb, get the Seekers, get the info. They know exactly where these players are. They play the post plant with a lockdown, and then you know where the guy is, and he still pops 2 of you. And that's the thing. I said it already. Sagetsu's form earlier in this tournament, rough. Right now, he's right back up to his old tricks. Right back up to the guy that people are scared to face off against. And Wolfen, though, maybe not. He's not fearful at all. He's still going. He's going to destroy the turret, but that's the moment to leave. And Shados goes back for more. I'm not really sure why. And then Wolfen peeks out as well.
Wolfen, I can't fault. You lose your teammate there. You look for a response. You look for a way back through to gain the advantage.
Oh,
and Coldamenta, he's going to do exactly the same. This is the problem. Exactly like you said, Tom. It's like dominoes. The first one falls, the rest have to follow suit. Everybody's going walkabouts, going pushing to try and find the control, but the reality is Navi, they have the control. They're just holding, waiting, and allowing every member of Koi to step into the crosshair. Even caught reloading the this man can't be
he's
killed.
waving it mid-round. It's Sagetsu mid-round.
It's just ridiculous.
He's 20 HP, doesn't have his hand on his mouse. But that's the, well, you're 8-2 up. You're 8-2 up. You've stolen your opponent's map choice. 9-2 now looking inevitable, and everything that worked for this in this round for Koi, the initial fight, well, it seems like a long, long way away. Trex, 1v4. He's just waiting, maybe for a mistake, maybe someone to get cocky. CNED's still alive. He always likes an extra kill, but you can see the patience of Angel, and it will be squeaky clean in the end. Again, consider how things started with an opening kill for Wolfen, and it just quickly diminished into absolutely nothing. A 9-2 lead now. There's a reason that Navi have picked this as their home turf going into this series. And honestly, I will be very surprised if there's any level of response now.
I mean, we've seen the attempts. Koi didn't really move towards mid all that much. In one of the initial rounds, the pistol, I believe, Wolfen went pushing into mid, got close to their spawn, and that was about it. Since then, we saw round 9, 3 mid push, they get spotted by a turret, they fall back. This is the first time they really commit to it. And, well, I don't even want to call it commit. They swing mid, they get a kill, and then one by one,
yeah,
they go back out for, I'm not even sure what, for more in some form or another, but it hasn't worked. This time, no mid push. Instead, straight up through B. I don't mind this, especially with the control Navi have had consistently.
The main thing is timing, though, because this push-up is great, but they now know it's A because there's Hunter's Fury on A and one of your teammates dead. You might like the idea of having this fast flank, but Navi aren't going to care. You can't even really get back in because guess what? Sagetsu's got another lockdown. He's had so many throughout this half, and they just have to wait. Make their way back through. Destroying utility on ARP might give a moment of space. Shout! Oh, it's tempered. And now they have a chance.
After 6 B plays in a row, these players thought they had it by pushing up B long. Instead, they have to fight their way back in on the other side, and CNED's got them all! 5 kills and ace to close out the half, and another nail in Koi's coffin here on Pearl. There's nothing that they can do wrong at this point, Tom. I thought maybe Wolfen was going to come through. He's going to save the round for them. I should have known.
I know that this is something that Angel's now never going to stop hearing until the end of time. But for the love of God, put him on Jet. Just look how he's been in these last 2 maps. It's just been unbelievable. He's 19-6. Like, we've been hyping up Sagetsu. He's second on the board because of the numbers that CNED is currently putting up. An ace to close out the half as well. The Turkish Jet is back. And it's mainly because he's playing Jet. Like, that's all it's been. We've seen his Neon. I'm scared because there's a potential that we'll see his Yoru again. I'm not sure I want, like, it's not bad, but it's not this.
It's not this.
That's the thing.
Nothing else that CNED does is this. There's a reason. He is the Turkish Jet, the original.
Yep.
And my God, there's a reason we used to fear him so much. With a Blade Storm in hand, he is unstoppable.
There's a reason he's part of the Emea team that's won champions.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the reason. Just unstoppable, but that's the thing. There was so many layers to this. Like, even if he did go down, which didn't happen very often, 6 times throughout the half, you had Xiao as the backup plan. Sagetsu has said, like, the amount of lockdowns he was having throughout this half just made things impossible. And most of that was just because of the sheer fragging power. This is what makes Navi truly terrifying. This is what the Navi fans want to see. This is the team they want to see heading to Champions, because that's the thing. Like, before we even get to talking about LCQ, this is why many teams with it, okay, it's probably going to be foot back here, because if this Navi shows up, if the Navi that can just obliterate opposition and have some of the most feared players in the world shows up, they could even go on a run at Japan, but they didn't. They went missing, and we'd been waiting and saying again and again, oh, maybe today. Well, they're in the lower bracket. Now it's the last chance we'll finally see Navi. Well, this is what we want to see. It's just whether or not they can keep it anywhere near consistent. And for Koi, of course, you're a map down, overtime, close, you brought it back, you looked like you had it, you didn't. You've gone into their map choice, you're getting slammed, and by the looks of it, they're going to need to win the last 3 maps of this series. And that's the thing. Sure, they've got an experienced IGL, but no IGL can be experienced enough to go, okay, we're 2 maps down, I can turn this. Like, that's so much. Even as, like, and the other problem is, this is the scariest problem, You talk about Kodamenta, 30 years of age, that's what he brings. He's the experienced man. The man on the other side is the only person in Emea more experienced than him.
Yeah.
Literally the only one.
For Navi right now, 10 rounds on the board. It seems unlosable. And I imagine they start to feel that way. But closing it out convincingly, well, there could be something to be said for that. Defensive side, and a chance for Koi to fight back through. We'll see what they get up to. Got to rely now on players like Starzo finding their rhythm and Wolfen continuing the form that we saw from him in some of the rounds.
Yeah. Well, he was sort of the one bright spark, I feel like, of that first half. Like, there wasn't a lot to write home about, but at times, Wolfen did pop off, even in that last round that they lost, because he was good, Cned was better. Contact going to be taken by Saigetsu, but he has no interest in fighting this one. He's got 2 teammates on the side.
They've spotted Zipan. They know that he's down below. The flash up and over ain't going to get him much. Not got another to work with either. Now he's just straight up swung on, hoping the double peek from Saigetsu would be enough, but the fights don't go his way. Angel's walking out again. Well, Wolfen's definitely going to need to improve on that performance, but they got the kill. That's all that matters. It's a 4v2, and Navi should have next to no way back through. It's only this guy called Cned. He's grabbed the first. That should be the last one he gets, surely. How much more could one man do? Hot off an ace, swinging into Shados. Oh, his back turn.
Surely not.
He spotted 1, spotted 2. Only one man now unknown. And a lot of damage done. The wall bang's even coming through to try and finish him off. Cned will fall in the end, and okay, it got close. The Shao clutch could have come through, but Koi get a lifeline of a pistol round.
Yeah, much better from them as well. The coordination into the side looked good. Okay, somehow, I feel like Wolfen's about to change his sensitivity and res after that. it's the only fix I got. It wasn't me. Man, there's something wrong. I think this mouse is leaning slightly to the left.
I think Trek spilled something on my mouse, Matt.
That was it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
We didn't need this slow mode. That was toxic.
Slow it way down as well. Really rub it in.
Well, the first, hopefully of many, if you're a Koi fan.
If you're a fan of this game in general, we don't want map 2. Sure, for Navi, it's good to have that Pearl, but you want competition. And what a delivery it was on map number 1 for Koi to quiet down this much. Wouldn't be a good sign with 3 more maps left to play out. They would need to win all 3. And sure, they chose to have Fracture up next, but it does start to look like much more of a middle ground. That's a good shot for Wolfen. Much better this round.
Yeah, new res looking good. For anybody out there, this is a joke. Changing your res, crosshair, ridiculous.
It ain't gonna help. It ain't gonna help.
You're just bad.
You're the problem, not your setup. Yeah. I'm sorry.
You need a new mechanical arm. That will help you.
It might. It might. See what the... They get down to 0.01 millisecond now delays. He's been killed by the Tiger.
Yeah,
all right.
Normally talk about
one enemy remaining.
Timmy, the turret, but Tony the Tiger's going to be taking that one home.
It was a round of wolves and tigers for Koi to close that one out.
I can hear him howling.
I can hear him. Is that a lioness? It's loose. Actually, if anything, he's going to call the lioness with howls like that. 10-4.
Well, the more important thing from this is that Wolfen's managed to get the majority of the kills. He's won off Bladestorm. So cleaning things up so nicely. Obviously, the buyback into this one is mostly rifles from them as they've kept them through. Not really taking any risks with SMGs or anything else because at this stage, you need a massive streak of rounds. You can't afford to give anything away for free. But even still, we've seen how deadly Wolfen can be with the Bladestorm. And now is where we truly get to see what Navi have on this defensive side. And by the looks of it, Cned wants contact.
Get it, but not in the way he wants. It's Wolfen again. Off to a howler of a start in this half, it has to be said. 3 rounds now that he's able to find opening or massively impactful kills. Navi gonna feel the pain if this Jet keeps on rolling. We've seen Koi make these comebacks happen in the past, and you gotta be careful not to give them too much leeway. It's only the opening duel for now, but plenty more left for Koi in this round. Even a Bladestorm on Wolfen that probably won't be used up here. Could be helpful, that entry through, though. We'll see.
Flash, almost used to fake. Doesn't give much information on the other side, but that's the main goal. Try and sell this one out, and it leaves Angel as the lone defender after jump spotting nothing. He's just going back and forth. This leaves a huge gap of timing. And by the looks of it, he might have just got this one wrong. And luckily, all the utility coming down is going to give him the information he desired. The question is, can he get anything on the cross? Because getting back into this one, it's going to be so difficult.
Yeah, with the plant down, at least it's not for long, but forcing these players out of position won't be very easy. A big brawl needed if you're going to get back in towards the hall, the elbow on the back of B site. And just look at the utility stars all across the map. They're coming out tonight, lighting up the sky as the flashes. And at this point, Navi need to rely on a burst of energy to get back through. The time is getting relatively low considering the ground that they have. And yeah, I mean, as we get to this point, the time is extremely low. They're out of there. A 4 versus 5 save called by Navi. Even with this much of a lead, they're not looking to give Koi any more runway.
A big round from them. Just being able to sort of play with the rotations, like using those flashes after getting that initial fight onto CNED. It's not something that I think will necessarily be that recreatable, that, yeah, okay, we've got 1 kill, that's going to be the surrendering of the round. I doubt we'll see that too often. And more importantly, getting rid of CNED as easily as they did. The thing is with this round, though, is what's he going to play? Like, does he full invest back into this round and basically risk the rest of their economy going forward? Obviously, they save, so it's not going to be a great financial state anyway. Or does he invest into something like a Marshall? Like, that's more of what I'd expect, but by the looks of things, it's just going to be nothing. CNED basically just used as a giant decoy. Like, the rest of the team are all on B, and he is solo with a classic.
He got caught by the knife at the start. Well, at least they see there was aggression being attempted. Maybe you think he had 1 or 2 players behind him, ready to support.
He's just peeking damage shots with a classic.
I mean, he has to get the info, right? And that's the point of contact. Once he sees them still around main, these players want to push up on doors. They're spotted by the turret, and much like what happened to Koi in one of the early rounds, that is enough for them to fall back. Element of surprise no longer in their corner. They played this one well to start with. There's a real reality where Koi have already got it planted on A, and now they're spread out into the default.
And there's a risk that the same thing as last round happens, though, with solo hold from Angel, but he's much more leaning in to that connector position. They head back towards this A site, and that is where the majority of Navi lie in wait. They've got the information from CNED. He might not have a gun, but the rest of the players do. Xiao lurking on the edge, but they have wiped them out. A clean take from Koi. That was pretty much all of the guns. 3 players lying there waiting for their opposition to face in. They get nothing. A little bit of chip damage onto Shados, but that is all.
Even just looking at Angel in this position, he's got a 1v5. He's going to put on his best God B cosplay, but he's being wrapped on as well. Wolfen right up behind him. Not even realizing that he might be going for this. They're looking for him on B. They're trying to take this rifle out of his hands. He might make that task a little easier for them than they realize. Starzo, just now evading.
If he gets this kill, he could just defuse.
He had a chance.
That's the crazy thing about this. Like, that's the one thing that's made me a little bit nervous, is it was so ridiculous that he was actually going for this.
There was a star on. I think they probably grab well at after kill. Shados runs, gets there in time. They end up losing 2 rifles.
It's a little bit uncomfortable, but I guess
they gave him an opportunity.
Yeah, which realistically there was no world he should have even been remotely close. But I guess it's almost just, why was he there? Like, why is he not holding onto the gun? That's the expectation. Financially, though, we are still going to see an investment coming through for the side of Navi. That operator in onto CNED. It's something that we've been waiting for. On this defensive side, it makes this take in towards the B site so much more terrifying. But for now, at least, again, just selling the fake. That's the goal of Counterparts here. Play with their opposition. See if they can catch them getting aggressive. See if they can pull some of those rotations, which thus far they've done very well. But bear in mind, first round, they got an insta-kill. Second one, weaponry disadvantage.
And this is an Angel just jump spotting B and jump spotting doors instead of not holding B. They're ready for the push, I thought. Not ready for a sneaky play through double doors. Angel completely caught off guard. The A site, though, still has plenty of defenders. We see that in Xiao, smoked off as they start to sneak their way in. Sagetsu gets one as they updraft through. But now they know exactly where he is. A dangerous angle to peek on. Relies on his utility to buy some time. A flash on its way from a teammate. Zipan inside the smoke. He can right-click this one through. Sagetsu's trying to bait them into a further fight. Into swinging deeper, so Zipan can double up with him and take this fight. A flash from the attackers, but Koyer not able to capitalize. In fact, it's CNED's operator that's coming through for 2. Zipan matching that donation and putting 11 up for Navi. Only a few more needed, and now they're on the home stretch.
Oh, that's the thing. The whole idea there from Sagetsu was almost just to bait them into the corner so that Zipan manages to get multiple kills. The fact is, though, they ended up jump spotting Zipan, knowing 2 players were there, and somehow still not being able to clear them from that angle. And that gives enough time for Charles Ned to rotate back in with an operator and get 2 kills. That's just disgusting, by the way. He just picked Wolfen out of the sky. But again, we go back to the caliber of these players. Still, though, financially, not a bad spot. Wolfen as well has really started to come into this game. 19 and 13 after what was a dominant half in the first from Navi. He now looks to take that contact a little bit more direct. CNED and Angel have just walked up mid. They have so much info, but with it being or looking like more of a direct play into A, they might not have anyone here.
Coldamenta and Angel just missed each other. As all these players start to barrel in from Art, they think their back is fully clear. There's no chance for it to be wide open for Coldamenta to just sneak through. That timing could be key. With Wolfen falling, though, the numbers on the site need to stand strong. Buy time for this flanker to get into place. Make sure the eyes are all on them. Alarm bot, vulnerability on for Starzo. Coldamenta only sneaking his way through now. Starzo makes some noise in the spawn. Makolda down, still being spotted for. The patience of Navi being rewarded time and time again. Another trade on the site as they get ever closer to starting this defuse. Starzo, though, although they knew where he was, dealing with him seems to be another story.
Player standing.
It's now just down to him on the flash up top, but they're defusing it right under his nose. He's got to run it down, and Xiao's protecting just about in the nick of time. Navi get away with it.
I thought they'd done enough. Like, I was looking at that deadly duo alive once again, and Starzo, it seems, again, we've mentioned this in prior series, that he somehow manages to find space, pick his moments, even when everything else went wrong. Their flank failed, their initial aggression failed, but somehow they managed to make it look competitive down to the second. But unfortunately, with that player main going down, that was the issue. Falling just before that last second was available. And then Navi, well, the confidence they had in each other, that's the main reason they win that round.
It's Xiao as well, just so ever vigilant on Art. He was watching it consistently 20, 30 seconds later as his teammates are pushing side as they're brawling. He's locking it down. This time, it's Wolfen to deal the damage to CNED, a very similar peak to what he delivered in the previous half. 12-6, one chance. All they need on the side of Navi. But for now, they've been shut down early.
Yeah, that lockdown, the double shot dart isn't going to do enough. They needed a little bit more to deny it. Still, though, in the backline, Sagetsu shut down Wolfen. He's been terrifying throughout this half.
30 HP.
And actually, they're going to fall back. Look at already the reposition from Coldamenta into mid. Support from Shados as well. This is being watched. Turret online, and already Xiao, you mentioned it in the last round, his read individually on the game has been nigh on perfection. The fact is, though, Koi are yet to commit. Very happy to late round push. The main worry for me, Sagetsu still has that lockdown. So if they are going to switch into this B site, he can pretty much deter them.
Left.
And for that reason, they're heading towards A.
Beautiful play by Trex as well. He dodged the recon drone earlier on by dancing around the pillar, playing Ring-a-Ring-a-Rosie. And now a lockdown comes into play. But in fact, Navi, they want this to be seen as a B defense, as a last-ditch effort to hold on to that side as they move towards A. The plank goes down. 10 seconds left, and it won't be denied. You're not going to win this one on the clock. For Navi, they have to win the fights. The element of surprise, who knows if it'll be enough. He's just about snuck past the turret and knows that Coldamenta can be taken down for free. That's one more kill, one more angle, and a wall bang on a Shados. Things are getting scary for Koi fans with Sagetsu on his third, and a last-ditch effort from Trex. A headshot delivered, halfway defused. Sagetsu, 1 kill away, but not today. Trex for the triple. Koi are still alive.
There's so many layers to this round. Just so many layers. The fact that Xiao managed to get himself in prime position to win it. The fact that the turret came online 0.2 of a second too late to catch him. The fact that Sagetsu gets one of the most BS wallbangs I've ever seen. And the late rotation from Trex to win out that round in the clutch. It was so late that even Xiao couldn't predict that one. The initiator being that far behind. Even still, though, the climb for Koi is just ridiculous. They need 5 more rounds, even to make this one close. Angel, it's just, he has no fear. But the fact is, he's almost just buying time to get that Blade Storm back for CNED, unfortunately. The ult's going to make sure he has no impact.
Yeah, he's going to have to stay back in the spawn now for a bit, let this round breathe out. But with Angel taken down, Navi seemed to be on the back foot for sure. A hero needed. Last time he was here with a Blade Storm, it was an ace that he walked out of the round with. So no counting them out just yet, and already he's up to his first. Trex taken out. Utility not really in play. A few bits here and there. A star for Xiao, and well, he's a shining star taking that first CNED. On the follow-up, the numbers now down to even. The defuse tap should bait them out into the open. Seekers played. And the spray, good CNED, not again! Surely! The flash there, the Cloudburst buying space, but Starzo gets the kill, and the defuse wasn't being stuck. Time now surely too low, 45 HP. Starzo has to be careful, but he's bought all the time he needs. The round is his. And Koi cling on to life one more time.
Oh, I bet Starzo wishes that CNED was on his team again. Don't get me wrong, Orphan's been doing a great job, but it's just those moments every once in a while that you just fear the Turkish jet is just going to take over. Starzo this time weathers the storm, shuts him down before it got too dangerous, I guess, before they closed out the map. And again, this climb continues now. As said, yesterday, they pulled this off once. They are great when the other team hits 12, it's like a different Koi shows up to the server. They happened in the last map as well. They are very good at getting it back to that 12-12 scoreline, and for that reason, you're going to see a pause taken from Navi. Now, their pauses have been pretty damn impactful throughout the first map. Always seemingly coming up with something, and honestly, right now, they are literal centimeters away from taking this to 2-0. Like, they think about the prior round with Trex, and this could already be done. We could be off on our break, looking at them trying to pull off a reverse sweep, but when the going gets tough, tough get going, and Koi have definitely proven that they've got the stones to drag out this series that little bit longer. Nonetheless, Barba's also been given some time to talk, and I feel like most of it's just going to be motivation here. Has the strategy from Koi been perfect? No. But that's not what they need right now.
They've already put up a very good fight on a map that most of us counted them out on.
Yeah.
Picking up a streak of rounds, moving to their attack side. The momentum looking to be up high. Maybe it's one of those moments you think, if the last half had been just a little bit better. But still, 4 rounds. It's not the biggest task they've ever been faced with. The spike retrieved, the fake on B. Navi are rotating. They're on their way to reinforce the A site. Does CNED even need reinforcements? Does he even need help? He snuck past them, dash back to site. Now there's a player there that he's catching in the back! Wolfen bested by CNED this time around. Another shot in the dark. He's a devil for it. He's somehow still alive before losing out on that. Zipan falling. Ult there, maybe he can be revived, maybe not.
It's going to be easier said than done. Oh, for Angel, it's not going to connect, but it has delayed at least a little bit. Starzo is going for the double flank now. It could win them the round, or it might just cost them. It looks like he's going to get it done, though. As said, this man's timing is better than anyone else. Somehow finds that small margin every single time, and even with CNED pulling off some of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen with that double opener. Every single time, Koi has a response.
It wasn't even a scope as well. He just crouched and hoped for the best. And it certainly worked out the first time, not so much the second. And all that space bought by the Chaos for Starzo to sneak up behind it. That's where Koi are earning their paychecks. It's not just about the full frontal assault. It's about throwing out that little right hook they don't see coming. This time it was Starzo. They need to do it a few more times. 3 now needed to push to an overtime. They managed that on the previous map, Tom, and they fell there. They managed it up against Giants, and they fell there. They have to hope that they can manage it here and turn it around as well. But what we're seeing so far, maybe they have found their second win.
You are divided.
Fight back. It's looking good right now. Weaponry not great. Well, nothing found. Zipan will at least get one with a fragment, but anything else will be unexpected. And Wolfen once more farming up those eco kills. 25 now on the board, somehow keeping up with CNED. Well, the man that should be feared. If he's not by now, I think Koi have got a screw loose.
If he had Bladestorm online, I'd pin him as the favorite in this round. The rifle, I give him 40% odds.
I wonder what's being said as well, because his finances are a little bit low, but there'd be a point if I'm Angel where I just go, screw it.
Yeah, if he gets one and dies, already he's so close to his Bladestorm. And with CNED, there's always a chance he gets more, but nothing to be found. In fact, Shados was creeping behind him. 12-10 is where we'll close this one, as Koi now 2 away, hot on the heels of Navi.
Yeah.
See what they can do.
Well, that's the thing. We've spoken a lot about this battle of the old Ascent. You have to bear in mind that Starzo, he's teamed up with one of the players that had to feel the brunt of that champion's defeat. Shados on the other side. I'm sure you've just seen him getting vocal. I'm sure he's saying, right, I've lost to CNED once.
Do what you did against me!
Yeah, I've lost to CNED once. I don't want to lose to him again. 12-10.
One suppressed.
2 rounds now the difference. The task diminished. But there's still a lot to play with here for the defensive side. No ults online, but some getting very close. And that lockdown for Shados, that might have been what he was talking about. How can they best implement this ultimate to get them the round?
Angel was heard taking that orb. They're ready for the fight, and they almost took him down. Very low in HP. That's initiated the push. They want to be quick about this.
You should run.
A lockdown in play. Perfect position up behind the boxes. Angel can't really fight. Such low HP. It's never stopped him before. But it will this time, as they give up the A site. Play way back in the spawn. Super passive. Sagetsu moving out through water. Trying to catch a late flank on these players. Let's see the side hold. Xiao's good somehow for 2. Eventually taken down, and they know where Zipan is. Again, taking him down's a different story. And again, they're able to come out on top. Another for Navi. Puts them on 13. That's a 2-0 lead in this series with 3 chances to close it out. Koi have to be devastated after that one. What a fight they put up on their opponent's map pick. OT in the first map as well, Tom, but now they're faced with the impossible.
Yeah, the thing is though, I've learned anything from this series so far, it's that Koi like to fight from a deficit. We saw it on Split, they went to OT.